everybody, and welcome back to Planners and Wine. My name is Myra.
And my name is Meg. Welcome back, guys.
Yes, welcome back.
People.
Humans,
See?
aliens,
Exactly.
everybody living who can
There we
hear
go.
this.
Listeners.
Listener. Yeah, we're
Welcome
just
back
trying.
Yeah,
We're just
welcome
trying
back to another week.
to do better, to be better, because once you know better, you do better. But there's still a lot of gray area in a lot of things in our world. So obviously just trying to be as mindful as possible. But yeah, welcome back to another week. We are very excited to be here. We got some stuff to talk about today, y'all. It's been a week. It's been a week.
Okay, real quick, let's do something fun real quick. I just thought about this.
Okay.
What song would you use to describe the week you have had?
Oh, what song? Oh, I don't really know. I let's circle back. Let's circle back to that
I can tell you
later in the
mine.
show. Okay, tell me
Mine's
yours.
is Rage Against the Machine.
Okay, I like that.
J-Bay, you got one?
I'm thinking it's been chaotic, so Bring on the Rain by Jody Messina.
There we go.
Period.
I've never heard that song, but I'm gonna go listen to it.
It's country.
Oh, okay.
At least he gave you
that explains it.
Yeah.
That explains why I have not heard it before. I love it. Okay, fine. My song is Mean by Taylor Swift. That is technically a country song that I have heard because I do like Taylor Swift's country music. So I'm gonna go with Mean by Taylor Swift.
Okay.
Why you gotta be so mean? There we go. That's the song.
Oh, it's like that?
It's like that. Yep.
Okay.
But
we'll make it the question for the week so y'all can chime in too.
I love that. I love that. But yeah, guys, so super, super excited. We finally got the announcement for GoWild 2024. It is going to be in Dallas, Texas at the Lowe's Arlington Hotel, a super nice brand new hotel, and it's going to take place at the end of April. I believe the dates are April the 18th through the 21st. And let's just get our, just initial reactions to the announcement of it being in Dallas. Myra, what say you?
Initially, I was excited because I was really we talk about this, while location doesn't really mean too much for us, we're going to be there regardless. But I was really hoping for a location of one where I already been, so I don't have to worry about sightseeing and all that stuff. And two, that's a bit central for me, so I don't have to spend so much time traveling to the location. Anaheim is literally across the whole country for me. So I was hoping for something that was more central and more not as expensive. So I was excited and happy with the location because been to Dallas so many times. It's central. I don't really need to be sightseeing or anything like that. So I was excited.
Yeah, I was super, super excited as well. I still have family that lives in Dallas, so I'm definitely going to make time to be able to see them. Y'all know I lived in Dallas for 8 years. I absolutely love living there. I miss it a lot. It's just a really great city, really, really, really great food. The hotel looks absolutely amazing. I really think that I think a lot of the complaints about this past year were heard and recognized by the Wild team with this location pick because there were some complaints about the quality of the hotel. This is a brand new, beautiful, gorgeous hotel, and it's not costing any more than last year's hotel, which is really, really huge. There were some complaints about how expensive DC is just in general. In general, Texas is a little bit more affordable than DC. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I know from literally living there that it's a lot more affordable. 2 major airports in Dallas, which is really, really awesome. And it gives people a little bit of options for travel wise. And then also, I had to travel across the country to go to Anaheim too. That was pretty far from me. And then to go the literal opposite direction to go to DC. So I like that this was a extremely central location, pretty much to everybody. If you're in the continental US, more than likely nobody's flight is going to be more than 2 hours. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just think it was a really well-rounded decision and location, and I'm super excited about it. I've been looking for an excuse to go back to Dallas literally ever since we moved, so I finally got it. So I'm ready. I'm really pumped. I'm really really pumped.
Yay. I'm super excited and excited that you'll be able to like meet up with family. Also excited
Mhm.
that like, a lot of our friends are in Texas too. So
Mhm.
it's definitely going to be easier for them for sure.
Yeah.
Um but yeah, I'm just excited to go, honestly.
I mean, that's the thing. Like we've
That's
talked
it.
about several times that like the location of Go Wild is really just important for planning purposes.
Mhm.
To me, like I thought that DC was great because it gave us opportunities to go like sightseeing and stuff in DC.
Yeah.
Anaheim was great if you wanted to go to like a Disney or something like this.
Mhm.
Arlington is gonna be great, or Dallas is gonna be great because it's literally in the backyard of Six Flags. So there are things to do there, but also I don't know, like to me, like Go Wild is just about the people and the experience of being at Go Wild. And we know that like once the conference started on Thursday, we didn't even leave the hotel anymore. We were door dashing for the most part, and like so we could have been on Mars and it wouldn't have made a difference because the conference is just so all encompassing. It just really really does take up so much of your time unless you come early or stay later. You really don't have a big opportunity to really like do a lot of things in the city because there's just so much going on at the conference itself. But yeah, like I said, location is not a big deal to me. I'm still fully on team. I will be okay with picking the location and just having it at that same place forever and never moving it. I will be totally
Yeah.
fine with that. But I think it does kind of add to the excitement to have the mystery to see like where is it going to be next year. I think that definitely adds to it. But that's just my perspective.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see it both ways, but I think again, going back to planning purposes, I would be team, having it one
Hmm.
place as well. Um, but yeah, all that to say, I'm just pumped. I'm
I
excited that it's in
know.
April.
Yes.
A little bit more time to plan and stuff.
Hmm.
I'm just excited.
Me too. Me too.
But
So what are we thinking as far as like speakers? Have you already been thinking about speakers you might want to see, crop hosts that you might want to see, like new table sponsors, anything like that? Like, have you started thinking there yet?
just from a bit from last year, I need to have VJ on the stage again.
Yep.
I need her back on stage. I
Yes.
need another, not me putting Tisa to work, but I need another Tisa horse. Because that was the best. I'm actually that's one of the things I'm really excited for next year is
Mhm.
the wild crop.
Mhm.
I think they did a really good job. There could be some tweaks. Like I really would love like microphones and stuff like that in the individual
Mhm.
sessions. But I think overall that really gave the people who were missing like the kind of crafty part of the conference
Mhm.
something there. And I had a good time with that. So I'm really excited to see what the improvements and stuff will be for that.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, table sponsors, hopefully Archer and Olive do a few.
Yes, that would be
Yeah.
awesome. That would be really, really good. I think for me, talking about the wild crop, because like this year they had it to where we were all in the big ballroom for like the first like hour or so,
Mhm.
I think. And we all did like a few like little crafts together. And then they had the breakout rooms where people who had signed up for the individual rooms or had the opportunity to went to those breakout rooms and did like another small craft.
Mhm.
I think I would like the breakout rooms to be the whole time. And I think because it would be cool to be able to have the time to do a craft that takes 2 or 3 hours. You know what I'm saying? Like we wanted to like bling something bigger, like a cup, or in the other breakout rooms, we made things like just to have the opportunity to make something more substantial and to have more time to do that. I think that would be totally great. But my vote is for Tisa to have like the main ballroom that can like house like 500 people or so, and like and then
We
they have
got
the
to get a
smaller
voice
one.
note. You really put her to work.
I know. Shout out to Tisa. Tisa will be like, wait a minute, y'all want me to do a breakout room with like 500 people? Yes. Okay. Yes, we got your
I
back. We'll
mean,
support. We'll support. We're bling professionals now, so we
Oh,
can help.
period. We could
We can
definitely help
help.
at tables and stuff.
Yes, exactly. We're volunteering ourselves as tribute to help. So there we go. There we go. For speakers, I would love Frank from Post Secrets. He was so amazing
So
this
good.
past year. And it's like the fun thing about Post Secrets is like he has a million stories. He only told us like a small fraction, probably not even like 1% of the stories that he has via what he does. So it would be really, really nice to have him back again, to be able to share some more of those stories, because that was just such a fun experience, and so moving. Like so much of it was so moving, so much of it was so funny and interesting. It was just all the feels during
Mhm.
Frank. So I would love to see him again.
My only request if we have Frank again is it to be on Friday because by Saturday I was an emotional wreck and I just could not cry, stop crying the whole
Look,
time. Like
if
I want to
if
actually enjoy it, please. So can we
if
have him on Friday?
if Frank comes back, have a couple boxes of Kleenex at Myra's table, okay? Have her so she can be ready.
I was done. I was
You were
so
done.
done.
You
And
were.
Frank is a good sport too. He was at
He
Plan
was so
Jamma.
great.
Yeah,
We
loved
got to
it.
invite
Yeah.
him. We invited him to Plan Jamma when we talked to him backstage, and then he came.
With his PJs.
Y'all welcome. We got to party with Frank and his PJs because of us.
He's one of us.
Y'all welcome. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Plan Jamma. It's like Plan Jamma is just so bittersweet to me because it's so much fun that you're sad that it's the end of Go Wild.
Yeah.
You're like when you go to Plan Jamma, you want Go Wild to keep going. You know what I'm saying? And it really hits you that okay, like we're going home tomorrow and it's over. I don't know.
Mhm. It's so
Um,
it's a weird emotion because it's
mhm,
like and I feel like we're releasing everything because we work
mhm,
and stuff with Wild
mhm,
and in the past. So it's like, okay, we're releasing the work. We're finally getting to
mhm.
like kiki with everybody, but it's like you said, okay, I'm not gonna see y'all for another
Over.
year.
I
Tomorrow.
know. It's so
Oh, it's
sad.
so bittersweet. It's
It's
so
so
bittersweet.
bittersweet.
The alcohol
Seriously.
don't help either though.
I know. Well, yeah. You know what? And I know the Wild team does their absolute best. I know they're working super hard to like iron out all the details, make sure it's absolutely perfect. I vote that we like double the amount of like bartenders or something because man, those bar lines were so long. Everybody wanted a drink. Everybody wanted a drink. So if we could have
Yeah.
more bartenders, that would be great. So, get out them lines a little bit quicker. And I mean, can Plant Jamma just last longer too? Like, let's not end it at 10. Can it go to like 11 or 12 or something? I would love that. 10 just feels too early. I feel like that's why so
Yeah.
many of us were still like down there in that space right outside of the ballroom for like hours afterwards because we didn't want to go to our rooms. Like, we didn't want to say goodbye because we knew that was basically
Yeah.
it.
Do
So I
you
needed to last
think
longer.
it's a like noise kind of thing? Because you know how like concerts have to like stop at a
Mhm.
certain time. You think it's like one of those situations?
I think it has been in the past, but for this hotel, it was like that ballroom was like in the basement.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
True.
saying? So
Yeah.
I can't see noise being that huge of an issue for that particular hotel. I can see it for like other hotels
Mhm.
potentially that had like what Anaheim wasn't the ballroom on like the second or third floor, and
Yeah.
then guest rooms were like right above it or something. That makes more sense to me for sure. So probably so. It probably does come down to something like that, but look, y'all on vacation, okay? Don't be a party pooper. 11 o'clock is it really that different than 10? Like it's
Sometimes people be hating,
they
you
be
know.
hating. They be
So that's
hating.
that's all it is. They
But
just
we
be
can't
hating.
give in to the haters. Why are we giving in to the haters? Okay, they can come join too.
It's the hotel giving it today.
Literally. So petition to have Plan Jamma last longer for sure. Let me see. What are some other things? I think another thing that I would really love to see is like some type of like newbie mixer. I think we've been talking about that for the past like year or so. Like on registration day they have the room where people like have all the activations and fun things too. I think it would be cool to have like another ballroom that has like things for people in particular who are either new to WoW or came along, just to have a specific area for those people to like hang out and talk to people and find people to, have fun with for the rest of the weekend. So I think that would be really cool.
That would be cool.
Mhm.
That would be.
Yeah.
I petition us to do that.
Yep. Hey, Jeanette, I know you listening.
Like that would just be really cool because there are a lot of
Yeah.
people who come by themselves, or there are a lot of people who,
Mhm.
wow, this is their first while and they really don't know what to expect.
Yep.
And there's a lot of introverted people within this community, so that could like really
Yeah.
break the ice first
Mhm.
thing.
Yep.
How is Thursday like registration day?
Yes, Thursday is registration day, and then the welcome party Thursday
Yeah,
night.
so it could be something during registration, like a
Mhm.
little like space you go through, the activation area, and then you
Mhm.
can come over there and mingle.
Yes, I think that would be fantastic. And I mean, girl, we just brought up the welcome party. The KD karaoke party is always so fun. Myra, are you already thinking about the songs that you're gonna do next year? And J Bay, are you already thinking about the songs that you're gonna do next year?
Yes. Also petition so Meg doesn't lose her voice every year. Can we do a lip sync battle instead of karaoke?
You know what? You're such a good friend for saying that. You're such
Because
when
we
I
still
tell
have to
you,
get through the rest of the week. If she loses her voice Thursday,
I'm
we
not
still got
talking.
2 more days.
I'm not talking until Friday. I'm not going to open my mouth until Friday.
Look, communicate via text. That's
I know.
fine.
I'm gonna have a notepad. I'm gonna have a notepad and a Sharpie, and I'm gonna just write down what I need to tell y'all. Okay. Well, lip sync battle would be cute. That's a cute idea. That is a cute idea too.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, I think that would be really cool. But that's my
Yeah.
favorite part of Wild
I
is karaoke.
know.
It's so much fun.
It's so fun, and that is a nice icebreaker too. I feel like that
Mhm.
is really what like really kind of sets the vibe for the rest of the weekend. That's where people, I think, at the karaoke party, that's where people are like, okay, I made the right decision to come. Like it was scary. I didn't know what it was gonna be like. This is my first time. I'm coming along, whatever the situation is. At the karaoke party, I think this is where people are like, okay, these are like my people. This is about to be good. This is about to be good. At least that's how it felt for me last year when I was our first time. I was like, this is a vibe. This is a vibe.
It's you really feel safe. Like you really feel like
Mhm.
the people there get you. And like I don't know. I you used to party a lot during like college and stuff, but not
Girl, girl, I don't know what you're talking about. I never went anywhere. I spent every night at the library. Like that is not me. Ooh, you got me
but
mixed up with somebody
as
else.
adults, like the whole party scene, the club scene is just not my vibe. But I feel
No,
like
not
with
anymore.
at Wild, like you feel safe. Like I don't
You
feel like I
do.
need to like just sit back against the wall and
Yes.
like try to disappear. Like
Hmm.
I want to be a part of me, go and talk to people, and
Yep.
I don't know. That's the best time too to like just we had so many great conversations after a welcome
Hmm.
party.
That's very true. That
So
is very,
yeah,
very true.
it's just the perfect icebreaker.
I know.
I'm so pumped. I'm ready now.
Me too. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. J Bay, you started working on your karaoke list yet?
I think it has to be Texas themed, so I haven't fully
Mm.
honed it down. Don't hate me if it's country again, because that's just who I am.
I don't hate you, JB. It's fine.
Beyonce and Meg counts as Texas, so
That's
Oh
true.
wait, I could do Beyonce. Oh my god, I'm gonna let me sit on it.
Ooh, ooh.
we got time. Look, I've already started my list, and Beyonce and Meg is on it. I
I
have
love
other
it.
people too, but now that J Bay said like it has to be Texas themed.
Yeah.
It
I
doesn't
kind of
have to. It just
No,
feels like
It's just
I love a
the
nice.
theme.
vibe.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Yeah.
a vibe.
That's the vibe. That is the vibe. Oh, I agree. I'm excited, y'all. This is gonna be so fun. And like, I don't know. The best part is just being together with the people who just get it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just fun whenever we can get together with other people in the planner community, our friends, like new friends, old friends, like just everybody to hang out and just have a safe space to just, be obsessed with stationery because that's what we're all there for, but we're so much more than that. So I would love to see, people, maybe a speaker who's like in another crafting space would be really, really cool.
Mhm.
Amber from the Mask Love is so great and so much fun. It would be great to see her again at Go Wild. And I wouldn't put her like in the planner category. She's just a
Yeah.
crafter, you know what I'm saying? A super creative crafter. So I don't know. More people like that would be awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. Amber has to be there in some kind of capacity
Yep.
because her energy is just
Off the
so
charts.
contagious. Yeah,
Hmm.
I love it. Absolutely love it. Um, Yeah, I agree. There's some names like Mimi G Style. She does a lot of sewing stuff, so not
Mm.
particularly in the crafting space, but
Hmm.
she has a remarkable story that I think will be very impactful to
Nice.
hear.
Hmm.
But yeah, I would love to see more, and this will like kind of make Wild more of a creative conference by having those types
Yeah.
of people there versus just a planner conference. Because I feel like at this point, that's what Wild is. It's not just
Yeah.
planners. Like, yeah, planners brought us together, but um, it's bigger than that. So
It's bigger than that.
I would love
Hmm.
to, and I feel like DC showed that. Like the speakers we had at
Hmm.
DC showed like it's bigger than that. So I hope
Yep.
we keep that trend going. I hard to top Frank and Renee,
Gosh.
but I
Girl,
know
don't
Wow could do
even.
it.
I mean, Renee can just come back and say exactly what she said this past
The
year. I wouldn't
same
mind.
exact
I wouldn't
thing.
mind at
Yeah.
all. Like she
Ask the
was
same questions.
absolutely amazing. And
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just like I had never seen her, obviously being familiar with her from Hamilton, but I had
Yeah.
never seen her like speak or anything. So I didn't really know what to expect. You know what I'm saying? I was just so starstruck just knowing that she was going to be there. But she was just so sweet and just so eloquent and like taking people's questions and like singing Hamilton with us. I mean, she was. She was perfect. She was perfect. And yeah, I wouldn't be mad. I mean, Renee can just like come. It could be, Go Renee can be the new name. You know?
Not
I'm
opposed to that.
okay. Just a whole conference dedicated to Renee, and I'm okay with it, because I stand so hard. But
Yeah,
yeah.
she's so freaking cool. She's just
Mhm.
so freaking cool. But
She
yeah,
is.
I'm really excited for all of the new people that like folks who wanted to go to Go Wild last year and for whatever reason
Mhm.
couldn't make it and are like super pumped to come this year. Like I'm really excited for them. And
Yes.
first timers, like people who maybe first found this community and now are
Mhm.
like excited to go. Um, I don't know, something about your first Go Wild is always going to be magical. Like
Agreed.
Anaheim is
Mhm.
still at the top of the list for me.
Yep, I
Like
agree.
yeah.
I totally agree. Yeah, and obviously, no decision is made in this community with any type of controversy. So we definitely want to
Mhm.
touch on that a little bit. I know we saw people who were voicing some concerns about the location being in Texas. I primarily want to just speak about people who are a part of the queer community having concerns about being in Texas because of the legislation and the governor and some of the laws that have been put in place. And obviously we sympathize with that really deeply. Like we obviously don't fully understand it, but we can empathize with that
Mhm.
of just being fearful of the unknown and what to expect, especially since like a lot of things have changed in our country since Go Out was in Austin. You know what I'm saying? So we definitely want to recognize that and just speak to that for a minute because I feel like there's always going to be some things that come up no matter what location is chosen, but these in
Yeah.
particular are coming up because of Texas is important to talk about too.
Yeah, I totally agree. I do recognize them as valid concerns.
Hmm.
Um I, I hate to put a but behind it,
Hmm.
but I do think a lot of people are using this as an opportunity to they're not excited about the location period.
Yeah.
So instead of just saying I'm not excited, I don't want to go there, they're using that as an excuse.
Yeah.
Which is kind of fucked up to
And
me.
it's not people in the queer community who are
Yeah.
doing that. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's not even the people who are doing that. I don't know. I think, especially for me, I think because I lived in Dallas in particular for 8 years of my life, and I love it and I just know it personally. Like it was hard for me to see a lot of the criticism because I'm it's like people are just like coming at my home. It still feels like my
Mhm.
home, you know. And I spent more of my adult life there than I have anywhere. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
And I don't know. I feel like because obviously we saw a lot of, I'm not spending my money in Texas. I don't want my money to go to anything in Texas, yada, 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 this type of thing. And I feel like that's a little short-sighted to me because I feel like that is not taken into consideration, like the BIPOC people, the women, the queer people who live and have businesses in Texas still. And
Mhm.
I feel like it's a very like privileged place to come from to be like, well, you could just move. You don't have to live there when that could be everything could be there. That could be your family or you or your friends are there,
Mhm.
or you don't have the means to not live there, or you just don't want to not
Yeah.
live there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You want to stay there and you want to help fight and make it a better place for the future generations.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like we all can't just abandon the South and think that that's going to actually change anything. That's just going to make things worse. You know what I'm saying? So it was disheartening to see some of that talk about. Like I said, if there are people in the queer community who have concerns as far as like safety and things like that, those are extremely valid, and I never want to invalidate that feeling or those experiences or anything. I'm just kind of talking of the perspective of people not a part of that community who, like I said, were coming at it from a I don't want to spend my money in Texas type of situation. Is that a fair thing to say? And I don't know. I guess you people can feel how they want to feel.
Mhm.
But I don't know. I feel like if Go Wild or if any conference was in a place that I wasn't comfortable or didn't want to go to, I would just not go. I don't want to take that away or that excitement away from other people.
Yeah, and I think that's exactly what folks were doing. They were only, tunnel vision
Yeah.
on their activism, and that they weren't even considering, because like you said, like it for you it felt like an attack on your home. For me, it felt like an attack on my friends, like an
Yeah.
attack on the businesses that I love down there. And
Yeah.
it was just so it was such a confusing thing going on. Like I legit seen somebody, because it kind of seemed like people were using this as a way to like self promote their righteousness, if that
Mm,
makes sense. Because
mhm.
legit, someone did a whole plan with me with the Aaron Conjuring planner, talking about their issues with the Go Wild location. Those planners are created and manufactured in Austin, Texas.
Yes. Yes, they are.
So it was just like, where is the line being drawn here? Like, what are we doing here? So do we
Yeah.
not support the businesses that are there? Do we not support the creators that are there? Like, it's just, I think it
Yeah.
comes down to like a lot of people may not care about the location. That's going to happen. Everybody's
Mhm.
not going to like where it is. Some people ain't like Anaheim. Some people ain't like DC. It is what it is.
Mhm.
But instead of just being like, I don't care for that location, it was
This
activism
Yeah.
behind it, which was weird because you're planning in an Aaron Condren planner. Like I just
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, we saw some talk about that too, where people were saying that, like, supporting a small business in Texas isn't the same as supporting tourism in Texas. But I kind of feel like that's kind of splitting hairs to me.
yeah.
You know what
It's
I'm
moving the
saying?
goalposts
It's
to
kind of
make it, yeah.
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 I agree. And yeah, I mean, we can only talk from our experience and how we saw the situation. And I think that's one of the good things about Go Wild is that if it's somewhere that you can't go to or don't want to go to, whatever your reason is, that is totally fine and it's totally valid. It's gonna be somewhere else next year. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like I don't know, like we talk about all the time that there is just a lot of entitlement in this
Mm,
planner community. I mean, in the world in general, but I'm talking about the
yeah.
planner community specifically. And I feel like people just feel entitled to everything in this community. And so when something doesn't perfectly suit like their needs, there is like just a huge uproar, and there is very little consideration other people who needs to do so. Like we said, like, one year, for like 2 years in a row, Wild was on the West Coast, and then one year was on the East Coast, and the people in the middle were kind of like left behind, kind of trying to
Mhm.
figure out what works best for them. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. We like I said, we don't talk from our perspective. Like from me, like living in Texas for as many years as I did, it was not just Texas, but in Dallas in particular, like
Mhm.
Dallas is an extremely blue progressive place. I never felt unsafe there. As far as I know, my friends have never felt unsafe there. And I just kind of wish that people will recognize the nuance in the situation. Like, and I say all the time that every state in this country is one bad election away from having a legislator or a governor like in Texas or like in Florida or hell like in Tennessee. You know what I'm saying? Like we're all just so close to that happening and it's a broader issue in this country. And we talk about this too like being from the South, I have always felt very judged and attacked when things like this come up because there's just such a strong perspective from people not from the South who aren't familiar with being in the South at all. Oh my God, the South is so much worse. The racism is so much worse. The homophobia is so much worse. Everything is worse in the South. And one, that's just not my experience. I can only speak from my experience, but that's not my experience. I have felt deeply uncomfortable in a lot of places that were not in the South, also as a Black woman in this country. You know what I'm saying? So I think that was a source of why I was kind of offended by all the back. Well, by not all, but some of the backlash as well, because I'm just like, this is not my experience with this place at all, and there's a reason I lived there for as long as I did. And I'm not saying that it's perfect and it can't change, but if we're all just like we're never gonna go there, we're never gonna support it, people need to move, then nothing is ever gonna change in these places. It's just going to get worse, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I think the South, it kind of gets picked on a lot just in general.
Mhm,
And we can recognize the issues that, Texas in particular
mhm.
has. We've talked about it on the show
Yes.
numerous of times. Um, that is well documented and well
Mm,
known. But also there's issues in New York, there's issues in Ohio, there's
yeah,
issues in Oregon, like, there's issues
yeah,
it's a like, I think you said this, off the air, it's not a state issue, it's a country issue,
yeah,
and I feel like with people are, like, trying to boil it down to a state issue, it's like you're trying to wipe your hands clean because of wherever you live at that's not Texas is
yeah,
much better, and it's like, no, like, we can recognize there's some issues going on, but it's not just Texas.
right. Yep.
It's really wild. It's
I mean,
really
I
wild.
I feel like a piece of that is kinda just make people feel better too, like, "Oh,
Yeah,
I would never live somewhere like that." Where I live is just not like that at all, and it's just like,
exactly. Yeah.
that might not necessarily be true. And like I
Yeah.
said, we're all on the brink of having some really shitty laws and some really shitty, governors and all this type of things, like in all of our states, because it is a country issue more so than just individual states. But like I said, I want to be very clear that we are not here to or trying to invalidate anybody in the queer communities feelings who might feel unsafe in Texas or anything like that. We're just speaking from our perspective and really it's just kind of more so some of the other criticism, like I said, with the spending money, the I can't go to that place. You know what I'm saying? Like not from a safety perspective, but just from it felt like kind of like a hot horse type of thing, to be totally honest. And name me a state that like nothing shitty ever happens, and you not in the United States no more. You're not on this planet no more. And like I said, it's not to invalidate that. It's just to, I don't know, just to share a different perspective too. J Bay, if you want to, I would love for you to kind of share your perspective as well and just kind of give everybody something to think about.
I would say like the redeeming part of like the wild and like I'm planner adjacent, so like I had hesitancies or like reservations about going with Danny like 2 years ago. Like I don't know if everybody knows the story, but like originally like Danny was like pestering me and I was just like, okay, Danny, you go. We'll make it work. You're gonna go wild. We planned it like 2 weeks before. It was like a whole thing. And so when the opportunity arose that I was able to go with him, which I like feel very like grateful for the opportunity, there's concerns like am I safe? But then like getting to meet the people and like the connections, I think like the community, there are a lot of like redeeming factors. And I think like something y'all brought up at the start of the episode is like we are spending a lot of time there on site, like if you're just there for the conference, and like the people there make it so worth it. And like the people that like in line that I just get to talk to, like I did like a couple coffee runs last year, and like I was just making jokes with people in line because I was like, oh, like this is delightful. Like I don't get too many places like in the world where I feel like comfortable just like being myself and talking to strangers.
I love that,
So
J
Yeah.
I'm
Bay.
excited to
And
see it again.
yes, and guys,
Yeah.
if y'all run into J Bay at Go Wild, just know that he's gonna want your whole life story, and he's gonna be actively listening and just
Mhm.
so sweet and just really caring. He really loves just talking to everybody, and I love that about him. I love that about him so much.
Yes, I totally agree, and I love that message, and I think it was on Wild's announcement that Planning with Kay like typed up a message that was very similar to what
Mhm.
J Bay was just saying. Is that it's about the people there and how
Yeah,
she felt safe, and you can go and read it. I'm
yeah,
sure it's still there. But I think what is being lost in this whole conversation of righteousness is the people who are part of the community, who
yeah.
also live within,
Mhm.
Texas. And like, I just, nobody is really like trying to get their perspective. It's just
Right.
like, oh, F that,
Yeah,
And I think, you know, folks need to take a step back and really listen to the people who live there, who are part of that
right.
community, who have been to Wild and can explain like the safeness there. We talked about it
Yeah.
just being people who love stationary, but
Mhm.
um just listen, you know?
Yeah. And I think that was one of the things that was just especially disheartening to me on Friday night when the announcement was made. I felt like everybody was just kind of looking for an echo chamber, and I think that's why so many of these conversations were happening in the Facebook groups. I mean, even in our Facebook group, and it just
Mhm.
felt like I wish that because I had a lot of great conversations with people who I saw like on their IG stories or whatever voice concerns about the location, and I had like one-on-one conversation, and it wasn't to like change anybody's mind. It was just to kind of reassure them from my perspective that Go Wild is a safe space.
Mhm.
Period. You know what I'm saying? And those were really great and productive one-on-one conversations that I was able to have. And I think that had people kind of taken a beat and just taking a minute to like digest the information and just reach out to people that they knew who live there, have experienced Go Wild or whatever, and just kind of talk to them about that 101 rather than searching for the echo chamber in the Facebook groups. I think those would have been a lot more productive conversations. And I mean, we're not here to change anybody's mind. Like, look,
Yeah.
it
It
doesn't
is what it
matter
is. Yeah.
what your reasoning is for not wanting to go and not going. That's on you and that's valid and that's okay. I just wanted us to, briefly talk about it on the podcast to just kind of share a different perspective because I mean, anytime that anybody said anything that wasn't like 100% in line with what a lot of these people were saying, it was not met with a lot of kindness, empathy, understanding, anything like that. A lot of what I saw was just like immediately shut down if you weren't saying that, like,
Yeah.
Texas is the devil and we don't mess with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just really shut down. And I think, like I said, one on one conversations have been a lot more productive. And I hope that this conversation, I hope it can just kind of give people a different perspective. It's not to shame anybody. It's not to make anybody feel bad for feeling how they feel, no matter how they feel. It's just to offer a different perspective from people who, one, have experienced wild a couple times, and two, people who have lived in Texas, marginalized people as well. That obviously we share similar concerns when we're traveling to different places in the United States. You gotta keep your eyes open. You just never know what could happen, and I don't want to make it seem like Dallas is just so perfect and nothing bad ever happens there. But I can
Yeah.
only just share my perspective that it's not a sundown town or even close to it. You know what I'm saying? It's just
Yeah.
it's not like that. So
Yeah. Yeah, and I love that, like, WoW is definitely a safe space.
Mhm.
You know, but, uh but yeah, just listen and be mindful, like, if
Mhm.
that's like Meg said, we're not trying to change nobody's opinion. If that's how you feel, that's how you feel. It is what it is. Um, it I think it's weird to go on, like, people comments that's like, "Oh, I'm excited about Go Wild," to voice that, like, to yuck their yum. That's
Yeah.
kinda weird. But, you know, you're entitled to your opinion and how you feel. It's just we're just asking people to take a different perspective on it and listen to other folks,
Yeah.
especially if you don't live there.
Yeah, that's the thing, because I feel like you can't turn around and be like, "Well, I don't wanna take anybody's excitement or joy away," but then it's like, you could make a separate post and talk about how you
Yeah,
feel. You know
for
what
sure.
I'm
Don't go on my
saying?
comments if they're
Yeah,
excited about it.
I
Like,
think you can make a
that's
separate
rude.
post. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think you could just make a separate post, so, I don't know. Yeah, but as like we said, like, this, I don't think has there ever been I mean, probably but since way before we was involved or even in the community, like, has there ever been a Go Wild location announcement it wasn't met with something? I think we all just kinda expected something, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah, it's
Um,
either the price, which is funny that, we didn't even get to rejoice on the price because of all
mhm,
this, did not change. Actually, hotel's a little bit cheaper.
mhm,
Um, it's either that, it's the location, it's the time of the year, it's
mhm.
always something. It's always something, and
It's
that
never gonna work for everybody,
yeah.
100% of people, and that's true for any conference every year, like, you know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? Like, it's not like, nothing is ever going to work for everybody, and that's okay, and if Go Wild doesn't work for you this time around, maybe it'll work for you next time around or the time after that, like, it's not going anywhere, so I think that is also something to keep in mind too. Because like
Mhm.
I said, if they were just somewhere that I just did not wanna go to or just couldn't commit to, whatever, had other things to do, then I would just look forward to the next year after that and go ahead and start
Yeah.
that sinking fund, and stay
That's all you
ready.
could do. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's all
yeah,
you could do. That's all you could do. It's just it's so weird because it's no other conference get this though. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like
yeah.
it's wild, but
Exactly, and it's like, I don't know, I know it wasn't like a personal thing against anybody who, like, lives in Texas or is from there or anything, but like I said, it just felt very personal, and it's just I don't know, it hurt my feelings. It hurt my feelings because I was just, obviously, we all had so much build up and so much excitement, towards the announcement, and I think it just really got lost in that because at the end
mhm.
of the day, like, Go Out is just to me, is just another opportunity to be with my people. That's all I see it as. Nothing more,
Yeah.
nothing less. It's just an opportunity for me to be with my people, to feel seen, to feel heard, to feel valued. And I want other people to have that experience too. And I don't know, I think, so much stuff just kind of gets lost in all the little details and the little nuances that are gonna always change and always be different. And it's just never gonna be perfect for everybody. I just wish that, we could have some appreciation for what it is. And like I said, if it doesn't work for you, if you can't go, that's fine. That's valid. But you know,
Yeah.
we
Well,
ready. I'm
yeah.
ready to take my ass to Dallas. Like tomorrow. I can't wait. I cannot wait.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you sharing your feelings about that because I think again that's something that has been lost.
I think that, if you see a post of people celebrating something that you're not trying to celebrate, you can make another post and talk
Mhm.
about your concerns and things like that. It doesn't have to be on that same
Yeah.
post. But yeah, guys, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I think that it's going to be amazing. I cannot wait as we get closer to, find out who the speakers are and different events that are going to take place. Do we know dates as far as like ticket sales or anything like that yet?
Yes, we do have the dates. I believe like there is a separate one for like alumni and general admissions, if I'm not
Okay.
mistaken. That makes sense.
Yes, there's like a
I'm pulling up
pre-sale,
the
like an alumni pre-sale, I think.
Yeah, I'm pulling up the post now. For the dates, pre-sale is 8/18 and general tickets is 9/1.
Okay.
Again, the price is the same as last year. Pre-sale is 649 and general is 699. There's some
Mhm.
ticketing fees. And then in the comments, they did give us the hotel price, which is 219 a night. So
That's nice.
yeah.
Especially for this hotel, which is really, really nice, and that's like half off the normal rate, I think, when I looked it up.
Mm-hmm.
So
Because
don't know
we
how
looked,
accurate that is, but
yeah,
it looked like it was way cheaper.
we looked at that
So
normal way. Was like, "Ooh, child."
and
Mm.
I think they have some different payment options,
Yeah, split pay.
this year as well.
Hmm.
Yeah, split pay and some type of, I think, like a down payment type of y'all don't quote me. Just go to the Wife Planner Instagram page. The information is there.
Hmm.
And yeah, like we just want to see y'all there. And also like with the tickets and stuff, like don't feel like you have to buy your ticket like the day that it's available. Like obviously, you never know what's going to happen. You never know when it's going to sell out or anything like that. But do what works best for you and for
Yeah.
your budget. If you need to wait a couple weeks to get your ticket, you'll probably be fine to do that. Obviously, I can't make any guarantees or anything like that, but just from
Right.
my perspective, like because I was talking to somebody who was like, oh no, I only have a couple of weeks to like save up and have my money for my ticket. And I'm like, not necessarily, because like I said, they have the payment options, and also you don't have to get your ticket the day that it is out. You probably have some time to figure all those things out too.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't fret
Yeah.
too much about that.
Yeah, for sure. Don't go into debt for this. We want to see you there, but like that,
Yes. Do what
make
works for
sure it's
you.
in a budget.
Make sure
Yeah.
it is in the budget. Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, we're going to take a quick break and we will be right back. All right, guys. So we are back. We have a couple of planner community things to talk about, and then a couple of TikTok, celeb stuff to talk about. We're gonna try to not make this podcast be 2 hours, so let's just run through these things. The first thing is Maske Life announced some changes coming to their daily planner. So daily planners will not be a part of their 2024 release that's coming this fall. They will be releasing them later on towards the spring.
Mhm.
And daily planners will be reformatted to be 6 months long. So you won't have to get 4 anymore. You can just buy 2 for the whole year. They will not include the goal planning system. And I'm not sure. This language they use is a little vague, but they might have a slightly different layout. Yeah, those are some pretty huge changes coming to the Moxie Life daily planners. Myra, what say you? What's your reaction?
Well, I do appreciate that they at least have it 6 months instead of three. That was a huge turnoff for me
Mm-hmm.
with it because it's just because it was still like $60.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do appreciate them making it 6 months. I don't think you can do any more than 6 months on a
Mm-hmm.
daily planner in
Mm-mm.
general. So yeah, that's exciting news. I'm kind of interested in what the changes will be because I remember them having a slight change or trying to do a slight change. Like, was it a year or two ago?
It was last year. Mhm.
Oh,
They
it was
put out
last year.
something in their Facebook group asking about changes to the daily planner. And the changes that they suggested made it very, very similar to the Daily Duo from Aaron Condren.
Mhm.
And so I was like, absolutely not. No, there's no reason for y'all to make a identical planner to the Daily Duo. Like,
Right.
why? Like, that's just really, I don't know, it's just kind of taking away some variety in the market. So I hope it's different than that. But I don't know. Them taking out the goal setting part of it kind of has me a little concerned that we are kind of moving closer to the daily duo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Daily Duo is 6 months each too, though.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Child, I don't know.
I don't know
Uh,
either.
Interesting. I guess we'll see come spring. It is interesting for them to like split the releases now too, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Can appreciate them at least letting us know.
Yeah, and I know that there was like, 'cause I remember when we had Sierra on the podcast last year, like I think one of our patrons even asked a question about not having the goal setting system. I think they asked about that for the flagship planner, not particularly the daily planner. So I
Mhm.
know that's probably been on their radar for a while, that there's some interest in having a planner without the goal setting. Also, it does make sense to have the daily with the option to not have the goal setting in case you are using it in conjunction with their flagship planner. You don't really
Yeah,
need those same daily plan pages in 2 planners. And a lot of us don't like just leaving blank pages in our planner.
for
And I
sure.
think this is something that you brought up. I think when we were talking about this, that this kind of opens the door for them to use their because they have like the system of just the goal planning system, like in their like little individual books, to be able to use that in conjunction with the daily planner. If you really need the goal setting system and you still want the daily planner, you don't want the flagships, so you still kind of have that option too. Um, but yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. It's very, very interesting to see what this looks like. Like I said, I really hope that it's not a carbon copy of anything that's already out there, but we gonna see.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I would hope that they wouldn't do that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, all we can do is wait and see.
Yep.
Interesting either way.
Yes, well, we will keep y'all posted either way. So Hobonichi has been doing a rollout, or the I think it's called like 30 days of Hobonichi or something. They've been doing a
Mhm.
very like slow rollout of their 2024 lineup. I haven't been on Instagram in a couple of days, so I don't know if they have actually revealed any covers or anything yet. That's what I was waiting on.
Right. Same.
But yeah,
That's
that's all we
the
care about.
important part.
That's all we care about. They have done some changes to the Hobonichi. So like the paper is going to be changing a little bit on I think some of the books. Um yeah, go to Hobonichi underscore global because they have a lot of announcements on here, and they are doing 31 days of previews, and every single day they're giving some new information about what they are doing in 2024. So that's how you can get the full rundown. But I still need to see the covers, and we have not seen the covers yet. So yeah,
Uh, that's all I'm here for.
I know. That's all I care about.
That's all I care about.
That's all I
I
care about.
did see that they are probably going to do a One Piece part two. That's the anime they did last year for their release.
Hmm.
I'm like,
Okay.
oh, I want to see a new one, but
Mm-hmm.
still gonna look at it and check it out. But
Yep.
that's what I'm always excited for, which anime they're gonna collab with.
Gotcha. That'll be really
Yeah.
cool. That'll
Yeah.
be really, really cool to see. All right. So moving on to the TikTok drama. Y'all, it was this whole thing. I swear, sometimes when we record, it's like perfect. And sometimes when we record, we like it's like something will happen the day after we record. And so then we don't have the opportunity to talk about it until a whole week after. And y'all don't have the opportunity to hear it until like almost 2 weeks later. It's
Hmm.
crazy how things go down. But yeah, there was this whole book talk drama with is her name Kiera Lewis, or I don't know her last. Is that her last name? Kiera something, right?
I'm pretty sure it's Lewis. Her
Okay.
name Kier.
Her name Kiera, and she's a pretty prominent like book talker. She has like over 1 million followers on TikTok. I believe she lives in Nashville, which is kind of how the first way that she kind of came on my radar and why I had initially started following her. But basically, there has been just a lot of drama with her and this hockey team and her content regarding the players being received as kind of like sexual harassment to one of the players and his wife. And so his wife put out a statement about her distaste for not Kiera in particular, but apparently, you know, like I said, Kiera has such a huge following. This has caused just a lot of attention to them in general, like people commenting really like sexually suggestive things on their family photos, things like that, and her just expressing her concern about that on her IG stories, and basically saying that, you know, at first it was cute, at first she didn't have a lot of issues with it, but
Mhm.
now it's just kind of been taken to a level that's inappropriate and has really just made them very uncomfortable. Kiera took this as a personal attack. Some people took it as a personal attack to see Kiera as well. She reacted to it. The team ended up unfollowing her and deleting all their content because the team had really like played into all this for a
Yeah.
while, and really because they just, you know, they just saw it as an avenue to get more attention, and so they ended up deleting all their content about this. And it was a wave of emotions for me seeing this because initially I was like, I had kind of like my black girl defenses up. I was like, okay, not
Yeah.
y'all, this very prominently like white hockey community coming at this black woman. I was like, no, that's not cool. But then digging a little bit more into it, seeing more of the new ones, hearing the wife's perspective, then being like, okay, no, like the wife had every reason to voice her concerns. The husband had every reason to voice his concern. Myra, where do you stand on August the 6th? Because we have gone through all the things with this situation.
So many ups and downs with this whole situation for real.
Hmm.
But I mean, I just think I've come to the conclusion that both sides had some parts. Um, I just find it so wild with Kiera's content. And I was
Hmm.
like you in the beginning, like, I mean, rooting for everybody black. Black
Hmm.
women, I'm gonna stick beside her.
Hmm.
But it's like even reading the stuff and watching the videos of the content that she does and the like derogatory things that she was saying, like I was so uncomfortable. Like
It
I
was a
cannot,
lot.
it was a lot. And
Yeah.
it's I can see how the wife was like, okay, this is cute. Or maybe even the team was like, hey,
Hmm.
this is gaining traction on TikTok. Like this can help us out. Like play along with
Hmm.
this, which I think is probably what ultimately happened. It doesn't seem like the player, had some kind of like he could have. I don't know. But it doesn't seem
Hmm.
like he was like, all for it or whatever. I feel like it was just
Right.
a team social media trying to hop on a trend. But you can take consent back at any time. Um, but I'm still
Yeah.
like, okay, if y'all were cool with it before, why couldn't the team reach out and be like, hey, this has gone a little bit too far? I wouldn't even put that on like the wife or anything. Like, why wouldn't the team say something to her?
Yeah. And you know what? And that was something that came up too. Like a lot of people who were on Kiera's side of it was like, why didn't the wife talk to her privately, blah, blah, blah. But then the people who are on the wife's side was like, well, Kiera did this publicly. So why would I address it privately when this has been addressed from Kiera's side extremely publicly? Like this whole situation happened in public. It's not like Kiera was, sliding in this man's DMs. Like it was very public Instagram, like TikTok videos and stuff,
Yeah.
um but I'm with you though. Like obviously, like consent can be taken back, and it's very important to recognize that. I mean, men can be sexually harassed. It's very important to recognize that as well. A lot of people brought up the gender dynamics and how if these were men doing this to a woman, then there would be nobody who would be on the man's side whatsoever. I
Yep.
mean, it's always gonna be somebody horrible, but for in general, the general public would be very, very clear about where we stood. But I don't know. It is a lot of nuance in this situation. I think that it was fair for the wife to, express her feelings the way that she did. I think where I come down on it is I think that the team, like the whoever is responsible for the team, are just kind of using Kiera as like a scapegoat and trying to
Absolutely.
deny any type of involvement. And I mean, by them unfollowing her and deleting their videos without, making any type of statement or anything like that, that was always extremely sketchy to me. I
Yeah, it
think
was
the
messed up.
team should have ensured that the players were fully comfortable with them playing into this because like I said, it wasn't Kiera by herself who hyped up this
Mhm.
whole fantasizing and turned into harassment of these players. The team very willingly participate, not the team, the players, but the people in charge of the team. Like they
Yeah.
participated in that as well because they just saw it as an avenue to get the team more hype and more attention. I think that they should have taken some responsibility in that. I don't think they should have just left Kiera out to dry and to take on all that on her own, which is exactly what they did. I mean, like I said, unfollowing her and deleting their videos, acting like they didn't have nothing to do with it was just really gross. So
Yeah.
I think multiple things can be true. I think you can have your opinion about how the wife handled it. You can have your opinion about how Kiera handled it. I hope that we all can agree that that team was dead as wrong. you know.
Yeah. That's where
Mhm.
we all definitely can stand because
Yep,
they were.
they were.
They were.
Hmm.
Yeah, that was just it was very shady. Yeah.
Yes,
I don't know.
very very shady.
Weird.
Yeah. Oh, last thing I want to talk
Yeah.
about. Oh, go ahead.
Is another TikTok. This is why people need to pay writers because the girls ain't got nothing else to do. But you see the lady that like claimed this other, she's a DIY creator. And she
Hmm.
claimed this other DIY creator was copying her, and it was stuff like, oh, she painted this green, and I had this green. Have you seen that?
No, I hadn't seen that.
Oh my god, they dragged that.
Why they drag her? What?
Because the things, first of all, you're a DIY creator. What does the
Yeah.
Y stand for? Like, of course, you want other people to do what you putting out there.
Yeah, there's
So that
no
was wild. But
yeah.
it just came down to like a little bit of jealousy because the other, like, I think her name was Tay, is the one who like put out the video originally
Mm.
about Karen.
Mhm.
I think it's pronounced a different way, but I can't remember. I'm just call her Karen.
Okay.
So she was saying like Karen is on the rise. Like Karen is about to pass her up in followers and stuff.
Mhm.
So I think it's more of a jealousy thing than anything.
Okay.
So she was saying that she copied her wallpaper, which mind you, Tay had a collaboration wallpaper and
Mhm.
Karen bought it and tagged Tay in it. So I don't know how she copied that.
Yeah, that's
But
weird.
she also said like she copied her, Tay said Karen copied her husband's artwork. He does like these monster heads on like these little plaque murals or whatever.
Yeah.
And Karen had like dinosaurs on a mural or something. It was
Mm.
stuff like that. It was like very
Yeah.
nitpicky type of stuff.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
the girls like dragged her and eventually like Tay like took the video down. She ended up losing her deal with the wallpaper because it was bullying. It was like
Yeah.
you're kind of jealous that Karen was on the rise and doing kind of similar because they do this like quirky kind of decor. You know, the
Mhm.
girls that have all those colors around their houses and stuff. They both do that.
Right.
So I just think Tay just kind of got jealous with that and like put out the
Yeah.
video. And mind you, she put out the video, then blocked Karen. So Karen couldn't even see it or respond to it. Karen was just getting like, you know, the community
Yeah.
coming to her and asked her. And she did a whole video crying. She was like, I'm so disappointed because I really looked up to her.
Yeah.
It was a mess.
I mean, here is my take on that. I feel like obviously we have been very, very vocal on, giving people credit where
Mhm.
credit is due. If you get inspiration from somebody, you need to tag them and make sure people know that this is where you got this from. If you got it from like a specific place or person, right? But also with that, kind of on the other side of that, it's like if you don't want to be an influencer and you don't want to influence people to do similar things to what you're doing, then just don't be one. Because
That's
there's
where she missed the
always,
mark. Yeah.
yeah, there's always going to be somebody who's like, oh my God, that was so great. And they might not always do the best job at tagging you and giving you credit. And I'm not to say that that's okay, but if you don't want to influence people, then don't.
It's
Don't.
particularly if you're in a DIY thing. And then mind you, all
Mm-hmm.
the stuff that I'll send you like a, too long, don't read clip of it.
Mm-hmm.
But all the stuff that she was claiming that she was copying was stuff that you can easily just put on Pinterest and find hundreds of other people
Yeah.
doing the same thing. So it wasn't like specifically I did
Yeah.
this and you did it to the T. It
Right.
was
Because
just
how can you
at
even
best
prove?
inspired by.
Yeah,
Yeah.
how can you even prove that they got it from you or that you were even the first
Yeah.
person to do it?
Yeah. Because a lot of the
You probably
stuff
got it
she
from
wasn't the
somebody
first
else.
to do it. Yeah.
Exactly. And it's
Yeah.
like you can't get mad at somebody who does something that you did when you got it from somebody else also, and you probably didn't get a person credit either.
The girl was jealous.
Yak some
She took
bikes.
down the video and then put like an apology, but it really wasn't an apology. But yeah,
Yak
I
some bikes.
the girls are bored. Pay the actors,
Girls
pay the
bored.
writers. They
Hey,
need something to
please.
watch.
We do. We need things to watch. It's hard
'Cause-
out
and
here.
then now with you coming out with stuff like that and people ain't got nothing to watch, is going to be bigger than what it would have been
Mm-hmm.
potentially. So yeah,
Yeah. There we
it's gonna be
go.
a lot of drama. I mean, it's content for us, so let's go.
Yeah, exactly. There period. Because the content gonna keep coming. The girls gonna make sure we got plenty of something to talk about all the time.
Very.
Next thing I want to touch on is I'm kind of pivoting a little bit from where I was originally gonna go, but I want to go somewhere else. Have you seen the Barbie movie yet?
I have not. Mm-mm.
Jada,
I don't care about spoilers.
have you seen the Barbie movie yet?
Not yet. It's
Okay.
like all the theaters out here have just been getting full every time I try to find a time to go.
I think it's made $1 billion like already. It has only been out for like 2 or 3 weeks. Something insane.
Shout out to Barbie marketing
like
because
that.
Barbie is everywhere.
Everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not gonna talk about spoilers or anything. I just wanted to say that I really, really loved it. It was just such a special movie. It really had me in all my feelings because I was a Barbie girl growing up, like through and through. Like, I think that was one of the things that made me like really hyped to have a daughter one day. Not to say that my daughter has to have interest in Barbies. Like, obviously, I
Yeah.
was never going to be able to control it. But I don't know. It just. I think it was just a really special movie coming from the perspective of like mothers and daughters in particular. The ending was just it was so sweet. It was really, really sweet. And I think it's something for everybody too, because Ken was not just an add-on like he is like in normal life. Like Ken was a major
Valid.
part. Yes, yes. He was like a major part of the movie. He was like basically the antagonist, I would say, for a decent part of the movie, which really caught me off guard and really um surprised me. So, but yeah, and even Dallas enjoyed it. There were plenty of times where he was like laughing out loud, and so that was fun for him to experience it too. Because I definitely made sure he came with us. And he actually enjoyed it. But yeah, I don't know, guys. Let me know if y'all have seen the Barbie movie. It was really fun. I really hope you go see it. It was really cute.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it. I may have to just do like during the day or something. Like,
Yes.
the guys in this house don't care to see it,
Mm,
which is
mm-mm.
very disappointing. Next time y'all want to see Spider-Man, I ain't going.
Girl, but you want to see Spider-Man
I
too.
go by
That's the bad
myself
thing.
for the
Okay.
principal. For principal, because y'all can go see what I want to see.
There we go. There we go. They can. But yeah, with in our house, majority rules.
Yeah,
So
I
Dallas gets
feel
just
Dallas.
outvoted.
Yeah.
Yes, y'all are in the same boat. Y'all are in the same boat. But yeah, y'all, this has been our episode. We hope that y'all enjoyed it. Give us some feedback. Let us know how you are feeling about all the things, all the planner things, all the TikTok things, all the Go Wild things. It's an exciting time in the planner community right now. We're about to have some
Yeah.
amazing fall releases coming out soon. So many shops have started putting out their like fall and Halloween kits and stickers and things, and those have been super, super cute. I'm literally probably placing the planner cake order at the end of this week.
Same.
Yeah. Oh, there we go.
I
Period.
cannot wait.
I can't wait. I cannot wait. But yeah, y'all. Do we have anything else? Myra, did you have anything else for the people?
Uh, no, definitely sound off on the comments. Check out the YouTube videos. Those are doing really well.
Mm-hmm.
Just friendly reminder, those are a week behind. So if you're going to look for this episode, you won't see it until next week. But definitely check out the YouTube videos. You'll get to see our lovely faces.
Yes.
And yeah, that's all I got.
Yes, make sure you're following us on Instagram at Planners and Wine. Follow Myra at Myra Plans It. Follow me at Meg's Got a Plan. Follow J-Bay at J-Bay Plans It. He is way more active on Threads. Just let y'all know, you can hear all the deep thoughts with J-Bay over on Threads. It's so fun. And yeah, just check us out. Make sure you support our content, our reels. Myra always gets the absolute worst screenshots of me for our reel covers. So love that for me.
Look,
Yes,
at the
I'm
end of every
attacking you.
episode, we need to just start posing because I really be struggling. I be trying to find the best thing for both
That's a
of
good
us.
idea. That's literally a good idea, though. We're literally about to do that. We're literally about to do that. But no,
I
you're
really
right.
be
Because
trying.
yours be rough too. So you're not just
Yeah,
picking on
they
me.
all do.
We both be
Yeah,
looking just crazy. So yeah,
I go half and half. I tag team
there we
both
go.
of us.
Yeah, there we go. Because we are equal opportunity looking a hot ass mess on this podcast.
Yes.
But yeah, guys, thank y'all so much for listening, and we will talk to y'all next week.
Bye, guys.